Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets hidden within corporate filings. And let's just say today B.Y.N.D is serving up a report that has definitely got some interesting ingredients, shall we say. So the big news today is that Meat Alternatives Incorporated announced their financial results for the third quarter of 2025, and we are diving into what those numbers actually mean for the company's future. This filing lands on the 10th of November 2025, and it is all about their performance up to the 27th of September of that same year. Think of it as a mid-year checkup for the company to see how they are doing. And before we jump in, if you like getting these clear-cut insights from financial documents, make sure you are subscribed because we do this every week. Also, we've got a Discord community linked in the description where we chat about all things finance, so swing by and say hi. Now, the core of this report is about revealing how well the company did in the most recent financial period. This is where they lay out their earnings and talk about their financial health. They've attached a press release that details their financial results for the third quarter ended the 27th of September 2025. This press release is the main event here, guys. It's what tells us the story of their performance. We're looking at the common stock of B.Y.N.D Incorporated. This is the fundamental piece of ownership that people trade on the stock market. You know them by their ticker symbol B.Y.N.D, which is what you'll see if you are watching their stock price move on the Nasdaq. And speaking of the market, their stock is traded on the Nasdaq, so that is where you'll find it. This report is filed under a specific section of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, which is the rulebook for how public companies share important information with investors. It ensures transparency. Everything in this document basically points back to that press release that details their third quarter financial results. So we need to understand what is in that release to understand what B.Y.N.D Incorporated is telling us. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, they've included a really important note about forward-looking statements. This is standard practice. It means that any predictions or statements about the future they make are based on current beliefs and could change significantly. They're essentially saying, hey, these are our best guesses, but a lot can happen to change things. They are not guaranteeing these future outcomes. They specifically mention that actual results could differ materially from what they anticipate. This is a crucial disclaimer to keep in mind, especially when we look at their financial situation. They point to several past filings for a comprehensive list of risks, which gives us a good idea that there are indeed significant uncertainties they are facing. And another key point here, they are not promising to update you if things change down the road regarding these future statements. They will only revise them if the law requires it. So what they say today about tomorrow is what they're committing to unless forced otherwise. This part of the filing is where they list out all the supporting documents that come with this report. It is like the appendix of a book. Here it is again, Exhibit 99.1, the press release from the 10th of November containing their third quarter financial results. This is the primary source of the key financial data we need to analyze. And they also include an interactive data file. This is for a more streamlined and automated way for analysts and regulators to process their financial information. It is designed to make the data more accessible for computer systems. The signatures section confirms who officially approved this report. It shows that the company as a whole is standing behind the information provided. And the signature we see here is from Luby Coutois. She is the Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer of B.Y.N.D Incorporated. That is a pretty key role in any company, and especially important when we are looking at financial reports. Her sign-off means she is attesting to the accuracy of the financials presented. The date of the signature is the 10th of November 2025, again confirming when this report was officially submitted. Now let's talk about what this really means. B.Y.N.D Incorporated is in the business of making plant-based meat alternatives. It is a growing market, but it is also a very competitive one with big players and new entrants constantly vying for consumer attention. They are trying to convince people to switch from traditional meat to their products, and that is a big consumer behavior shift. So we've gone through the formal parts of the filing. The really juicy stuff is in that press release they attached. Unfortunately, the provided document does not contain the actual financial tables from that press release. However, based on the context of an 8K filing announcing financial results for a quarter, we know the key things investors would be looking for. They would be examining revenue growth or decline. Are they selling more products than before or less? They would look at their net income or net loss. Are they making a profit or are they losing money? Gross profit margins are also critical. This tells us how much money is left after the direct costs of making their products are paid. This is a sign of pricing power and efficiency. We'd also want to see their cash flow. Are they generating enough cash from their operations to sustain the business and invest for the future? Analyst expectations are also a big factor. Did they beat or miss what Wall Street was expecting? These numbers are crucial for understanding the company's operational health and its position in the market. For example, if their revenue had dropped significantly, say by 20%, that would mean for every $5 they made last year, they are only making $4 this year. That is a serious contraction. If their net loss widened, it means they are burning through cash faster. This would raise concerns about their ability to continue operating without additional funding. The competitive landscape for plant-based meats is intense. Established food companies are entering the space and niche brands are popping up. B.Y.N.D Incorporated needs to demonstrate not just that they can make good tasting products, but that they can do so profitably and scale their operations effectively. Competition means they might have to lower prices or spend more on marketing to keep customers, which can hurt their profit margins. Looking at the forward-looking statements, disclaimer is also telling. It suggests that management is well aware of the uncertainties and potential challenges ahead. This isn't necessarily a red flag, but it does mean investors should be cautious about optimistic projections. They are essentially hedging their bets. In conclusion, B.Y.N.D Incorporated is navigating a dynamic and challenging market. The lack of specific financial figures in this provided snippet means we cannot give a definitive judgment on their current performance. However, the structure of the filing and the standard disclaimers point towards a company that is focused on reporting its quarterly results and managing investor expectations. The real story would be in the numbers within that Exhibit 99.1 if we had it. Are they showing growth? Are they getting closer to profitability? Or are the challenges of this competitive market taking their toll? Without those specific figures, we can only speculate based on the typical concerns for a company in this sector. What are your thoughts on the plant-based meat market and what it means for B.Y.N.D Incorporated? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for more in-depth discussions. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video.